Hi everybody, good morning. Welcome to Mindful Monday. If you're new, I'm Connie Bowman. If you're not so new, cool, welcome. I thought we'd start in a receptive pose since Mary said she's in a very receptive mood today, which is awesome for a Monday. So we're going to start with a nice heart opener. So blocks on the highest one will go under your head, and then this medium level or lowest level will go right under the bra line or the shoulder blades. And if you don't have blocks, roll up your blanket or your towel and just place it underneath your spine. I'm going to use my blanket rolled up under my knees. So come on down. See if you can land in the right spot. If you don't quite land there, might have to scooch around a little bit. Maybe move your blocks a little bit. And then once you get settled, just kind of let your feet splay out, let your arms open wide, and let those shoulders wrap around the block. Let the palms face up. So this should give us nice space for our breath. And just let yourself settle. Just notice the parts of the body that are making contact with your surface beneath you. And notice the parts of the body that are suspended, not making contact. Explore the sensory elements of your space. So notice the sounds in the distance. Notice the sounds in your room. A little closer in. And feel the temperature of your air. And if your eyes are closed, notice if there's light trying to peek in through your eyelids. Maybe swallow in your throat. Notice if you taste anything. And then just begin to settle in a little bit more. Soften the glutes, soften the ankles, soften the face. Allow your shoulders to open up a little bit more here. And then softening the belly, invite breath into the body. Fill up the belly. Feel like you're blowing up a balloon. Just fill up. And then let the air come out slowly through your nostrils. Just let the belly deflate. Good. Another breath in, filling up completely, bringing that air all the way up to the tops of the lungs, filling all the space in the heart, the lungs, the chest. And then a slow release of the air through the nose, letting the belly completely draw back toward the spine. Good. We'll take a few more here. Filling up. And letting go. Good. As you continue to breathe, I'll just offer a spiritual practice for our practice today, our yoga practice today. This came to me from Spirituality and Practice. It's a website, and every day I get these new practices. Yesterday, I got in my email this suggestion to Reflect on a person, a singular person in your life, living or passed on, who has had a positive influence on you, or someone that you love, someone that you respect dearly, someone that you admire. And just call that one person to mind and reflect on their attributes, on the things that they gave to you, the inspiration they offered to you in your life. And just call that person to mind. Yeah. And so as you do that, just imagine your heart swelling with love for this person. So this spiritual practice is good for us. Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning, who spent time in concentration camps and spent the rest of his life afterwards, he discovered that the true source of joy is this ability to pour out love. So this practice can also induce joy. So let's take another big deep breath, fill up. Imagine you are breathing out love. And then slowly begin to bend one leg, bring a foot to the floor, and just roll gently to one side. Remove your props, however you have them set up. Just move them to the side. And then come down to the mat so your spine can settle, just neutral spine. And just notice, as we did in the beginning of the practice, notice which parts of the body are making contact with the floor. Notice if there are certain parts of the body that are not, that are not making contact with the floor. And then breathe in deeply. See if you've created a little more space for the breath. And as you breathe out, let your belly draw down to your spine. And we'll come to bring our heels up toward our hips, bending the knees. Lift and spread your toes. Lift your toes off the mat and then lower your feet to the floor. Lower those toes to the floor. Grip the floor with your mat. So you're bringing some blood flow into those toes. And then take your palms, face them down. We're going to just begin to add movement to breath by lifting our hips, coming into a bridge flow. So as you inhale, lift your hips. And as you exhale slowly, just kind of peel your back down toward the floor. So using the strength of your legs to lift you, you can also press your palms into the floor. Inhale as you lift. Nice expansive chest, fill up. And then exhale, peel yourself down. So a gentle, slow descent. Good. We'll take two more. Inhale. Excellent. Exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now we're going to add to this. We're going to lift our arms up on the inhale. And as we exhale, lower the arms. Good. So just move with your breath. Good. Three more. Find your pace. Excellent. Your breath might be faster or slower than mine. Make it your own. Good. And on this last one, We're going to come up to a bridge pose. So readjust your feet if they've slided a little. Mine did. And then lift your hips and take your hands underneath you. Take your shoulders and snuggle them under and see if you can lift a little bit higher, and we'll take 3 breaths here. Good. Nice heart opener here. 3 slow breaths. So just explore sensation as you lift a little bit higher, moving your breath slowly. Good. And on that last exhalation, just peel yourself down as we did before. And take a moment to extend your legs. And close your eyes and notice. Notice again the parts of the body making contact, the parts that are suspended. Good. Notice your breath. Just take a turn of your head to the right. Take a turn of your head to the left. Come back to center and hug your knees into your chest. That first little stretch feels so good. Take some circles. Give your lower back a massage here. Switch directions. And then hug your knees in nice and tight. See if you can curl up in a little seed pose. Maybe draw your nose to your knee, stretching the back of the neck. Take a big breath in and then a long breath out to extend long. Take your toes and point them, reach your arms overhead and give your back a little arch. Create that space between the lower back and the mat. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bend one knee, roll to one side. Press on up, come up to a seat. Yes. Find easy pose. Not so easy for all of us. So you might want to tuck something under your hips. We'll be here for a little bit. Sukhasana. So this hip opener, immediately we're getting that nice stretch. Sit up nice and tall, reach your arms up, look up, and then take a stretch over to one side, keeping both hips on the floor, looking underneath that arm. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, sweep your arm to the other side, take your hand to the mat and take your side bend to the other side, keeping both hips. Take a flourish as you lean to the other side. Breathe in and breathe out. Flourish to the other side. Good. We'll take one more each side. Getting our stretch on. All 6 directions of the spine. Forward, back, right, left. And here we go. Let's take our twist. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, take one hand in front and one hand in back and take your gaze over your shoulder, twisting from the rib cage, lifting your crown toward the heavens, getting nice and tall. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Inhale, reach up and look up, unwind, and exhale, take your twist to the other side. Good. Fingertips reach forward and back as you take your gaze over that shoulder. Gentle stretch of the neck, just checking in with the neck. Good. Slowly unwind on your exhale. Switch the cross of your legs. We'll get that equal time on both hips. And take your chin down to your chest. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Take some slow circles, just drawing circles with the nose right in front of you, keeping them small until you're ready for a bigger circle. Good. Check in. See, notice if you hear anything, little crunchies. See if you can work them out, smooth out the neck. Good. Let's take one more pass. And then come back to center. Take your legs forward, flex your toes, and then gently walk your fingertips down the sides of your legs until you find your big toes, your ankles, or whatever you can get a hold of, maybe the sides of your feet, and then let your chin come down to your chest. And check in with your hamstrings. Good morning, hamstrings. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Just a passive pose, just a little yin. Maybe you inhale and lengthen your spine, looking forward, and then refold, exhale. Good, breathe in. Breathe out. Good. On your next exhalation, just take your fingertips and walk your way back up. And we'll take the soles of our feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana, and check in with the inner thighs. Good morning. Again, we'll come forward and see if you can lower those knees toward the floor. Always the option to put some blocks underneath your legs. As we take about 5 breaths here, and just let your shoulders slump asana. And let those blocks support you if you've decided to use them. Feel the support they offer. And see if it allows you to soften a little bit more. Maybe again you inhale and lengthen your spine. And maybe you exhale and take that bow. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And see if you can let go of a little bit of tension, maybe. Just starting slow here. Good. Make this last breath the fullest one yet. Fill up the back of the lungs. So you feel the back body expanding. Maybe your shoulders come forward a little bit more. And then on that exhalation, just peel yourself up, remove your blocks, take your legs, draw them in, take your hands behind you, give yourself a little windshield washer action. And then we'll come to our hands and knees. So take your blanket under your knees, be kind to your knees. We want them to last as long as possible. Bring your knees under your hips and your hands under your shoulders and spread those fingers nice and wide. Press your finger joints into the mat. Good. Take your cat-cow. So we'll lift the tailbone, lift the head, drop the belly on your inhale. And on your exhale, bring that belly into the spine, round forward. Good. Take 5 of these, a good 5, maybe 6 or 7. Move with your breath. Just get the kinks out here. Good. Maybe your chin comes all the way down to your chest. Maybe your gaze goes up on your cow pose, way up toward the ceiling, stretching the eyes. Make it your own. Maybe you take some figure 8s. Maybe take your hips back to your heels. Get funky. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Take your palms and face them toward you. Take your fingertips toward you, I should say. Let your hips slide back just an inch or 2 and get that forearm stretch. Good. Breathe in. You'll want to. And breathe out slow. Come back to center. Take your hands forward. Take your knees nice and wide. And sink your hips back into your first child's pose. Let your forehead come down to the mat or block. And if you like, you can tuck something between your hips and your heels. And then lift your hands off the mat. Take your fingertips toward the ceiling. And then turn your palms up. Open and close the fists a couple of times. Good. And then just let your hands rest on the mat. Let your hips slide back a little bit more, soften. And again, breathe into the back body. Imagine you're filling up the lungs on the back side of the body. Take your fullest breath and your slowest exhalation. And then we'll slowly rise back up to our tabletop. Take your hands a little farther forward than they were under your shoulders. Press into every little finger joint and bring that blood flow into those joints. And then tuck your toes, stretch your feet. Then go ahead, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Come slowly, move your props out of the way if they're there, and walk your dog. Bending one knee, pressing the heel down as you bend the other. Just walk slow, giving your feet, your ankles, your legs a nice stretch. And then find stillness. So continue pressing into all the joints of the hands to support your wrists. And then see if you can lift your hips a little bit higher. Take your gaze back toward your knees. Shake out your head, yes and no. Breathe. And as you're ready, come up on your tippy toes. Take a slow walk to the front of your mat. Come into your first forward fold. You can roll out your wrists, bend your knees as much as you need to. And take a hold of your elbows. Find ragdoll. Just let yourself be a ragdoll. Raggedy Ann. Remember her? Shake out your head like Raggedy Ann, yes and no. And then bend your knees. Allow your feet to be your foundation as you slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time, just coming all the way up and then sending those fingertips up to the sky. Reach up. Test your balance, look up. Feel your legs turning on. And take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Lean to the right. Good. Breathe in as you look to the left. Breathe out. Come back to center. Switch sides. Take a hold of the right wrist with the left. Good. Breathe in. Look right. Breathe out. Inhale. Reach up and look up and lean back to your back bend. And then exhale, let your palms come together. Let them arrive back at your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes. Just notice how your balance is today. Maybe you're rocking like I am, a little bit forward, a little bit back. Find that center point. Take a nice big breath in. And a slow breath out. And then release your hands, come into your mountain. Find your mountain pose. We have nice, open, expansive heart spaces. So see if you can draw your shoulder blades together. Gaze forward. Find that spot on the wall that will give you your gazing point, something that's not moving. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your weight to your left foot. Lift up your right foot and step it all the way back to the back of your mat so you can find your high lunge. And you might want to take your legs a little bit farther apart so on your mat. So maybe your left leg scooches over a little bit more to the left. That'll give you a little more stability here. And then bring your hands to your heart center. Find your drishti. We're going to take a twist. Always the option to stay right here, but if you're ready, take your right elbow and link it to on the outside of the left leg. Take your gaze somewhere toward the left. Find a drishti, find another drishti. Good. Embrace the wobble. Maybe you take your gaze on up to your ceiling if you're feeling really steady. If you don't have several layers of rugs underneath you like I do. Breathe in. Breathe out. Unwind. Come on up to your crescent. Send your fingertips up to the sky. Reach up. Good. Maybe even look up if you're feeling frisky. Yeah, good. Beautiful. We are going to jump right into a balance pose here. Literally jump. So we're going to come into eagle pose. So this is going to be, it's going to be fun. So think about your left foot so firmly planted on the earth. And we're going to think about that right foot coming up to meet the left. See if you can do it. Wrap your right leg around your left. Take your arms out wide like an eagle. Wrap your left arm around. I'm going to come so I'm facing you. Also, I'm falling out, just so you know. I'm facing you. So your left arm comes over your right. Squeeze. We're going to squeeze them all together. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your arms, bringing lots of blood flow and a nice stretch for that upper back. So there's always the option to put this right toe down on the floor, or if you can get it all the way wrapped around, go for it. Good. We're going to be here for one more breath. Yeah. And then as you're ready, just let it go. Open up. Open up wide. We're all at the front of our mats. Take a nice back bend so your arms are nice and open. This receptive, right? That's what we wanted. Good. When you're ready, we're going to forward fold. So bend your knees as much as you need to. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Come into your forward fold. Bend your knees. I really think bending your knees is the way to go. Bring your belly to the tops of the legs. And then see if you can straighten your legs a little bit more. Good to bend your knees as you're getting into your forward fold. Good. Breathe in. Maybe ragdoll. Shake your head yes and no. And breathe out. When you're ready, come to your halfway lift. Gaze forward on your floor. Get that spine nice and long. And then refold. See if you can leave your legs a little straighter this time. Maybe. Good. When you're ready, root to rise. Press into your feet. Inhale. Sweep those arms up. Take a hold of your right wrist and lean left. Good. Inhale. Reach up. And exhale. Lean left. Right. Sorry. Take a hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Good. Inhale, reach up and look up. Lean back. Maybe flip your palms and take them to your lower back. Fingertips can point down. Elbows can draw toward one another. Lean back for your back bend. Good. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your heart. Find that drishti on the wall. Nice spot on the wall. Coming into your mountain pose with Anjali Mudra, hands in prayer pose. Good. Think about your weight in your right foot. So just as you're thinking about it, bring a little bit more weight into the right foot. And then think about bending your left knee and stepping way back to the back of your mat, finding your high lunge. Good. So maybe scooch your feet a little bit wider so you have that foundation. Find that steady gaze. Breathe in, shoulders down, away from the ears. And then we're going to think, and actually do, take this left elbow, hook it to the outside of the right thigh. Embrace the wobble. Take your twist. Maybe take your gaze up toward the ceiling. Find that steady spot to look at. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Excellent. Slowly unwind. We're going to rise up, send those fingertips toward the ceiling, and come into your crescent. So notice if your shoulders want to come up to your ears and just draw them down. Good. Breathe in. Feel the strength and the stretch. So strengthen your legs, but also that nice stretch in the left hip flexor. Good. Breathe in. Finding that drishti is going to be real important as we come into the second side of our eagle pose. So find it, find that little spot. And when you're ready, think about bringing your weight back into your right foot. Hop this left foot up and wrap the left leg around the right. Take your arms out wide like an eagle. We'll take the right arm over top this time and then wrap the arms together. I'll come facing you again. Again, squeeze the legs together, squeeze the arms together. Find that drishti. Good. I know, this is intense. Breathe in. But you're so receptive today, so breathe out. Good. We'll take one more breath in. If you fall out, come back. That's what I did. And then open up wide like a bird. Take your arms out wide. Good. Look up, lean back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Excellent. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Fingertips to the floor. Let your head hang. Inhale, come into your halfway lift, half table. And then exhale, take your hands to the floor, step back with your right leg, step back with your left leg, then lower your knees to the floor, lower the tops of the feet to the floor, and then slowly lower yourself down all the way to the mat. And make a little pillow, turn your head to one side. Sophie, shake it out and breathe. Take a nice deep breath and a long exhalation. Good. Take another. And then bring your forehead to center. Bring your hands to the outsides of your shoulders. Take those elbows and squeeze them in. Spread your fingers nice and wide, and then use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to a gentle cobra. Just a baby cobra, so you can feel that little compression in the lower back. Take it only to the point where you feel that compression, but no pain, no pain. And then lower back down, turn your head to the other side. Sophie, shake it out. Nice. Good. Take your hands back to your shoulders, forehead back to the center. Let's take this cobra. Take it up a little bit more, maybe. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Gazing slightly forward, keeping a long neck. Good. Lower back down, turn your head in the opposite direction. Sophie, shake it out. Excellent. So we're going to take it a little bit further, come into another heart opener with upward facing dog. Sophie does this really well. So the tops of the feet are going to stay on the floor. The hands are going to come into that cobra position. So right outside of the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, pressing into all the different joints, all the individual joints. And then squeeze those elbows in. As you slowly rise up, you can stay in cobra or lift your knees off the ground and come into upward facing dog. So notice what happens to your shoulders. Notice what happens to your breath. Let's take one more breath. This is really strengthening. Yep. And as you exhale, we're going to come over the tops of our feet and lift the hips, come into downward facing dog, but come slowly. Come slowly. Walk your feet, walk your dog, and then find stillness. Notice how the back feels by contrast. Good, nice big breath. Good, long exhalation. And then we're going to lift the right leg up high. Take that right leg up, open it up. Take some ankle circles, why not? Send it back long. And then look forward. We're going to draw that knee forward, coming into a pigeon pose. So the right knee comes behind the right wrist, the right foot comes behind the left, and then lower that left knee to the floor. Maybe send that left leg a little bit longer. Shine your heart before anything else happens. Before anything else happens. And then set yourself up for your pigeon with some props that would be supportive for you. So you can use your blocks, you can use your blanket, you can tuck a blanket underneath this right hip. So many different ways. So many different ways to kneel and kiss the ground, as Rumi would say. But this might not be as pleasant for you as a Rumi poem, so use your supports, use your props, and then when you're ready, surrender into this pose. You know, take your time to do that. Use your breath. Come into that slump asana a little bit, letting your chin come down to your chest. Close your eyes. And just breathe into this. Breathe into this intense pose, but such a good hip opener. Good, nice big full breath. Breathe into the back body and the front body. Breathe into every little nook and cranny of the lungs. And even imagine you're sending that breath down into the right hip. And relax the back of the neck and the jaw. Soften the brow. Maybe even smile. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more breaths here. Make them your longest, your deepest, your most satisfying breaths here. Good. Always the option to swallow in the throat. Just let the throat relax. And sometimes that helps. Good. On your next inhalation, take your hands to the floor. Peel yourself up so that, you know, you get that expansive heart space, right? Just like we did in our upward facing dog. Then tuck the left toes. Move your props out of the way. We're going to take our right leg back to meet our left. Lift your hips and come into downward facing dog. Now it might feel good to take a little circle with your right hip if you like, or just walk your dog. Good. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Send the heels down to the floor. Stretch the whole back of the legs. Good. Good. On your next inhalation, lift that left leg up high. You can bend your knee, open it up like the fire hydrant. Maybe take some circles with that left ankle. Good. And then send that left leg long again. Look forward, draw that knee forward. Come into your pigeon on this side. So the left knee goes behind the left wrist, and the left foot is behind the right wrist. And then see if you can straighten that right leg out a little bit more. Tuck any props underneath you as needed. And then surrender down. And see how you can relax on this side. See how well you can soften here. Letting those shoulders relax. Letting the chin just bow down toward the chest. Back of the neck soft. Breathe in. Such a good stretch. Breathe out. Good. Another breath in. And another breath out. And yet another. One breath at a time. We slowly sink and soften in this pigeon pose. Swallow in the throat if that's helpful. Smile. Let's take the biggest, deepest breath. And the longest, slowest exhalation. And then we'll peel ourselves up. Take your hands to the mat. Peel your heart up and your shoulders back like you're in that upward facing dog. And then tuck your right toes. Lift that knee off the floor and send your left leg back to meet your right. One more downward facing dog. We will be coming down to the mat, but enjoy your dog. Maybe walk her out. And then find that stillness. Get that length in your spine, really pressing into the mat, lifting the hips a little higher. Good, gazing back towards your knees, soft neck. And then as you're ready, just slowly bring yourself forward through a plank. Lower your knees to the floor. Lower the tops of the feet to the floor. Bring your legs together and send your hips back for a child's pose, but this time let your hands come back to the sides of the feet. Let your forehead relax toward the floor. Let the shoulders just round. Get a stretch in the upper back. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you're ready, press your hands into the floor. Rise up slowly, come to one hip, and then come all the way down to your back. However you like. So if you love coming down through a boat pose and really getting those abs engaged, maybe that's what you do. You slowly descend. But if you're just ready to come on down, come on down. Let your legs reach long, let your arms reach overhead. Take that nice back bend. And then hug your knees in. Yeah, feels so good. Rock from side to side. Maybe take a few more circles. And then when you're ready, drop the knees over to one side. Open up that opposite shoulder. Turn your head in that direction. And close your eyes. Just breathe here. Let this final twist be medicine. So good for us. Just rinsing out all the organs. Detoxifying. Imagine yourself just squeezing out anything toxic, anything we don't need. Just rinsing it out. Good. Breathe in here. Take that nice big cleansing breath. And then on your exhalation, hug your knees back into your chest. Good. And then slowly let the knees fall over to the other side. Open up the shoulder on the opposite side. And rinse out here. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next breath in, hug those knees in. Send those legs up toward the ceiling. Take your feet toward your nose, your toes toward your nose. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then bend your knees. Reach for the outsides of your feet and come into your happy baby. And if you like to rock your baby, just rock from side to side. And then eventually find stillness. See if you can hug your knees in toward your shoulders a little bit more. Soften that back. Nice big breath in. And a long breath out. And then take your legs. One more squeeze. Hugging those knees in. And then set yourself up for your Savasana. So legs wide on your mat, maybe a blanket to cover up, or just fold your blanket up and let it sit atop your belly. That's always nice. Or maybe you take your blanket and just let it be a pillow or roll it under your neck. Do what you need to do to set yourself up. And then just allow yourself to surrender here. We'll take a little progressive relaxation, but before we do, tighten and squeeze every single muscle in the body. So take your toes, flex your feet, flex your legs, flex your belly, get your arm muscles all engaged, and then just let go. Bring your awareness to the crown of your head. Allow the crown of the head, the scalp to soften. Soften the ears. Relax the eyes. Relax the cheeks, the jaw. Let the tongue drop down from the roof of the mouth. Maybe swallow in your throat, soften the throat, the neck. Allow the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the fingers to just melt. Soften the chest, the belly. Allow the hips to be heavy. Relax all the muscles in the legs. Soften the feet. Soften the toes. As you're ready, begin to deepen the breath. Bring small movements to fingers and toes. Turn your head from side to side. And when you're ready, turn to one side and just roll up in that fetal position, just that transition between our Savasana and our day. And just notice. Notice how you feel. Use the strength of your arms if you're ready to press yourself up to a seat. Come back into Sukhasana and notice the effects of our pigeon pose. Maybe your hips are feeling a little more open. Notice the expansiveness of your heart. And take a moment to just let your palms rest and your eyes to close. As you breathe in, think about your person. Recall that person. Take a big breath in. And feel that love flowing out of you as you exhale. And just be aware as you move through your day. Maybe you think of a few more people. Breathe in love and breathe out love. Notice if it enhances your sense of joy. When you're ready, sweep your arms up, reach up for all the love. Draw it down into your own heart. Take a moment to bow to your own expansive, beautiful heart. Thank you guys for sharing the love, for showing up. Namaste. Have a beautiful day and week.
Thank you. It's great, as always. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good week.